TV. Welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. This may give you a hint of what we're talking about as we kick off the show, or maybe a bad image. Don't let it be a bad image, because we're actually making sausage to kick off the show today. I'm joined by Tamara and Will. They are the co-owners of Valley Sausage. Welcome to you both. Great to have you here.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to do some sausage making on the show in just a moment, but Tamara, I wanted to start off. Tell me a little bit about your journey. You began this back in June of 2022. What was the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, so we've been together a long time, and we've always thought about starting a food-related business together. I'm a dietitian, Will's a butcher. We both went to culinary school.
Okay.
But we thought it would come, like our mid to late 30s, but we just weren't really happy with what we were doing work-wise at the time, last 2 years ago. So we just decided to quit our jobs and start the business.
Look at you two, entrepreneurs, just quitting everything and risking it all. I love it. And the idea, not only are you making sausage to sell, but you decided to do workshops as well. Tell me about that idea and a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we just started doing them like here and there, and they became really, really popular. And the first Christmas season of 2022, we sold out a few workshops over Christmas as gifts, and then people kept wanting to do them. So we really focused on them in our off season now. We do them still throughout the summer and stuff, but we're busy with markets. So it's become our main thing that we're doing in the off season, the winter season.
I love it. Well, let's make some sausage.
Yeah.
Will, you're going to walk us through the sausage making process here, right?
So we're going to have to gloss over some of the details, but we have our spice mix in here. And you've got a bit of water in it, which helps to emulsify the fat to the lean portion of the meat.
Okay.
So the first step we're going to do here is take your...
Oh, there it is.
Yours just in front of your bowl there. Yeah. So you just want to take your gloved finger and kind of mix it around. We use potato starch as a binder, which tends to clump. So you just want to make sure all the salt and potato starch is completely dissolved.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And you're making bratwurst, and Will's making mild Italian.
Okay, nice.
So once you feel that there's no more clumps in there, you can just go ahead and dump it right into your bowl.
Let's do it, Will.
I usually like to take a little bit of pork and just kind of use it as kind of like a sponge, just to get all the good stuff out of the bowl.
See what you're getting at, yeah.
Then as soon as you have it all out, you can just put it aside. You can kind of, if you look at your pork right now, you can kind of see there's the white fat and the red lean. We're trying to get that into kind of a homogeneous, sticky mixture. So you just want to get in there and kind of fold it the bottom up and really kind of force it through your fingers until you see it start to get a bit sticky.
All right. So how many different types of sausage do you offer your customer base?
So we have a lot of different kinds. At the workshops, we typically do 2 varieties, and then you trade with someone, so you go home with half and half.
Okay.
But we have an online shop, and we have, the classics like bratwurst, Italian, honey garlic, etc. And then usually in the summer and fall, when we have lots of markets, we do new kinds every week. So
nice.
Al Pastor is one of our most popular, apple, onion, sage, sun-dried tomato and feta.
What do you think, Will? How am I doing here?
Looking good. So what you're looking for, if you can pick it all up in one clump and kind of give it a couple bounces without anything falling off, you've achieved a good bind.
All right. What do you say?
Perfect.
Perfect, folks.
So nothing's falling off.
You heard the man.
Kind of toss it around.
Okay.
So I'm going to load my tube up. I'll get Tamara to give you a hand with yours.
Tamara,
it just
help
kind of
me.
slips out the front.
What are we doing?
Let's move this over to the side.
Crucial step here, though, you want to make sure there's no air bubbles in the tube, because if there's any air bubbles in between the pork, it'll cause the casing to expand and blow out when you're actually trying to make the sausage.
That could make for good television, but not necessarily for what we're wearing. Yeah.
So you want to grab about a third of it, and just put it into the bottom of the tube, and then firmly just press it down until you don't hear any more air escaping.
Okay. That's good, Tamara?
I think you're good now. I'm just listening for the air.
As long as you can't hear any more air gushing out.
You're good now.
And then you can kind of grab the rest of it. And then just, again, firmly pat it down until there's no more air.
I mean, this is like get family and friends together to do a workshop. And you do it, what, twice a week, right? Tuesday nights and Saturday mornings, is that right?
Yes, typically.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
So I'll pop that on.
So if you want to take your gloves off and just put them in your bowl now, unfortunately it's impossible to grip the casing with the gloves on for the next step.
Okay.
So I'll just get Tamara to fasten your machine onto the stand.
I'm all fastened in?
Yes.
All right.
Crank that down.
And just a bit of cranking to get it down.
Okay.
I've already loaded the casing on for you because it's a bit delicate, but it's a natural hog casing that we use. So it's 32 to 35 millimeter, and it's big intestine.
Okay, here we go.
So the name of the game here, you're going to want to reach around the front with your left hand, and you're just using your index finger just to apply a tiny bit of pressure on the underside of the tube. If you can reach around the front, I usually find it's a bit easier like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and you just want to apply just the tiniest bit of pressure on the tube.
So
just
where
Okay, right here. Oh, I see.
partially on the tube, partially on the meat.
Because the tube's a smaller diameter than the actual casing, so if you don't apply any pressure, it won't fill it to its full diameter.
Gotcha.
So now, everyone wants to go incrementally. You want to do a smooth motion. It doesn't have to be fast, but the smoother the better.
All right.
You just want to find the right amount of pressure so that the casing's being filled to the full diameter, but not popping.
Okay, Tamara,
so you just kind of start cranking.
You keep an eye on me, and you let me know if I'm okay.
And you want to keep your hands static as well. Just let the sausage kind of flow over your finger.
Okay, so that's good pressure there. Keep going.
Okay. We should have locked this thing off.
But you don't want it to get too hung up.
Okay.
So you want to kind of push it along.
Oh, okay.
So just kind of, yeah, there you go.
And you can see there's a couple air bubbles in there.
Oh, there is.
But that is not a problem because we'll poke them out at the end.
Okay.
And you can keep going.
Okay.
The reason we hit it with the knife is if it starts to get inflated on the tube, it can actually stretch the casing larger than you want the sausage to be.
I see. Okay. I think I'm a little big, maybe? What do you think?
That's good.
okay.
Good.
All right.
If you place it too
Stops up,
tight,
you might-
you actually won't have any.
Yeah.
You won't be able to twist it. So you want a little bit of give.
This is awesome. Okay, this is 20 years in television. The first time I made sausage. There we go. Oh.
All right, that's probably good.
Okay.
Good for now.
All right.
So now that you've reached the end of the tube, you can just kind of pull it out and then just snip off.
Okay.
And for the actual spinning, with the 32 to 35 millimeter casing we're using, if you do them at 6 inches, it'll be approximately 3 to a pound. So what I like to do is just grab it,
All right.
pinch the end.
Pinch
I'm
this
pulling it that
end?
way. Yeah, pinch
Okay.
it, and then just pinch it at 6 inches again. And
Like
then the
around
first
here?
link,
Yeah.
you're going to spin forwards.
Okay.
So
So you
create
want
a bit
it's
of
all
a
it's a
gap.
motion in your wrist, kind of like you just want to let it hang and then kind of.
Oh, make the gap first. I see.
and then just kinda
and
spin
then the
it.
spinning.
There you go.
Sweet. So now
Okay.
that you've got that one, now move your
Move the
right hand
hands
over
over.
and then pinch again at 6 inches. And now the next link, spin backwards towards you.
Okay.
Because that'll tighten your previous
Oh, I
sausage.
think I did.
I think you did
Yeah, I
backwards,
did.
yeah.
So.
The
Perfect.
opposite of what you,
Okay, you got it.
started with.
All right. Okay. We're coming along
And then
here.
backwards again.
Okay. Do that. The little pinchy pinch, and then the the backward. Hold on.
Sometimes if it's a little bit tightly piped, then it's harder to spin. But
I
you got
tightly
the hang
piped.
of it.
I think there we go. Okay, got it.
It's all
So
in the wrist.
how do you have a subscription as well, right?
Yeah,
Tell me
so
about the subscription.
In the summer, we have a monthly subscription. We usually have a large and a small, and so you get a delivery each month of sausage.
Nice.
And so those will be up on our website for pre-order sometime this month.
So yeah, February is when it gets out. And is there a set number? Like you got to get in quick, or
Yes, definitely very limited,
okay.
and they tend to sell out pretty quickly.
Excellent.
And for the large one, we do May through August, and a small one we do June through August.
Remind everybody at home, Tuesday nights, Saturday mornings, when it's happening, how do they register?
Yeah, so you can go to valleysausage.com. We have lots of workshops listed there. We do them on the weekends at Spark Beer on Somerset, and we do them at Stray Dog Brewing in Orleans on Tuesday nights.
Very nice, very nice. And don't forget those subscriptions. You want to get that subscription in February. I can't thank you guys enough. As I said,
you so
this
much for
first
having
time.
us.
It's a pleasure. It's a first time. Let me just
You did so
try
well.
to do one. Well, I think there's some improvement to be made. Tamara and Will, everybody from Valley Sausage. We'll be back with more right after this. This is.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Everybody knows not to drink and drive, but some people still think it's okay to take drugs and drive. Police have the authority, the ability, and the tools to determine if drivers are impaired by legal or illegal drugs. And because drug-impaired drivers can pose just as great a risk as drunk drivers, they face the same penalties. like the loss of their driver's license, a criminal record, fines, and more. A message from the RCMP, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, and Arrive Alive, Drive Sober.
And roasted the most perfectly golden brown marshmallow you'd ever seen. And the crowd went wild!
Rogers TV invites you to let your imagination roam as we present you with a new season of Ottawa Storytellers. Each week, we'll bring you a collection of original and creative stories presented for children of all ages. Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers right here on Rogers TV.
Unbelievable. You just never see that. Oh, what a shot.
The OHL on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. We go from savory to sweet. As you know, Valentine's Day coming up tomorrow. You're looking for a last-minute Valentine's idea, whether it's, you know, something for that loved one. It doesn't matter whether it's family, friends. You just want to bring people, gather people together. Valentine's Day is the perfect day to eat some delicious sweets. And my next guest has some fabulous sweets for you. I am joined by Laura Virginillo. She is the owner and head baker of Modern General Food Group. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
All the way from Vancouver to Ottawa. Tell me about, first of all, let's talk about the beginnings of the business. Tell me how you got started in Vancouver.
Well, I have a corporate background, and being a creative person, I decided I wanted a big change in my life, and I wanted to do something sweet and fun, and decided I was going to open up a general store.
Okay.
And, you know, in 2016, no one knew what a general store was.
It's sad
right?
to know that. I love general stores.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
They're the fiber of our community,
Agreed.
right? Like, it's where everyone meets.
Yeah.
So I created Modern General in Vancouver, just outside of Vancouver, and it grew into this amazing community place, and the creativity just kept flowing, and here I am in Ottawa now. My daughter was here for university, and so I joined her. And
I was going to ask you, what brought you here? So family brought you here.
Family, yes.
Wonderful. And so you have, you do have a retail sort of marketplace shop, right? Where
I do. Yeah. So in Canada North, on Tarrant Road, and so we have, it's a small footprint compared to what we had in Vancouver, but it works, and it's slowly gaining some traction here. Everyone knows that there's some pretty good stuff coming out of a little space.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What about baking and pastry making? Where did that come into your life?
Just a passion for food, and good ingredients makes really good food, and so I want to be able to share that with friends and family, and I've been the family baker forever, it seems. Yes, and so...
Well, I can tell.
Yeah. This is just a very small sampling of what I do.
This is your small sampling.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, well, you know, first of all, let's do a little show and tell. You brought some stuff along with you here. Walk us through what you've brought along with you today.
Okay, so this is specific for Valentine's. Every season we always change up things. So this one is our shortbread, where we always do different types of shortbread. So this is a chocolate, and then a classic. And then what we've done with our tarts is we've turned a shortbread base into a beautiful vessel for some high-end Calibo chocolate.
Look at that. I recognize these because Savvy Company came on the show with these, right? You're doing an event with them tomorrow.
We are.
Right?
We collaborate with a lot of locals, and this is one of them.
And let me tell you, I did, it's a tough job. I had to taste test this when Savvy Company was on, and these are absolutely delicious.
Good.
Really, really, really nice.
Good. Well,
you're gonna put me to work, aren't you?
I am. So this is dulce de leche, which is a sweetened condensed milk cooked down so that it takes on this really nice dark caramel color.
Right.
So caramel, think nice and rich. So here you go.
Okay.
It's very satisfying. So what you can do is make a little dollop on top of any one of the tarts. Go straight on.
Okay.
And then down, down, down. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful, hey?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, isn't that lovely? Great consistency, right?
Oh, that's perfect. Look at, you're a good teacher. Look at that.
There you go.
Beautiful. I'm hired.
And so now we want to garnish with a little bit of fleur de sel on top, because that makes a really nice caramel little hit of salt.
All right, so we got that. Let's move on over here. What have you brought here?
So we make cheesecake in 2 sizes. This is our mini cheesecake, and we're going to top it with our signature raspberry preserves.
My favorite fruit flavor, by the way. Oh, I love raspberries. So good.
So it just complements the cheesecake and takes away all the sweet. Okay, we can do a little garnish on here.
Okay.
Okay, and then we have our mango coconut scones filled with whipped cream, vanilla and honey in the whipped cream, and a little strawberry slice in there. And then over here, we do something different with bourbon cocktail cherries. And so that we're going to drizzle over some lemon tarts, which is a really nice...
Do you make this yourself?
We do. This is one of our branded products. So Modern General, we make a number.
Well, you do a line of what, syrups?
We do.
Right? And like cocktail syrups as well?
Yes.
And fruits?
We do. Cocktail syrups, we do. These are the cherries, bourbon cherries with bullet bourbon and Angostura bitters. And then we also have a bourbon orange, but those ones we did a lot more in Vancouver. We haven't done them here yet.
Okay. What else do you offer? So as you said, this is just a small example. Tell me what else is in your product line.
Well, we make a lot of different bars. There's some gluten-free bars that we like to offer different choices to people. We're by no means a celiac friendly bakery because we use natural wheat in our other products. So, but we do have different offerings. We are nut-free and seed-free 100%.
Oh, excellent. 100%. Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. So we teach cooking classes, baking classes, breads. Our artisan breads are really gaining traction as well, and it's so fun. It's very satisfying to make bread and see people enjoy it.
Tell me more about your cooking classes. What style of cooking classes do you do?
Just general interest. You know, people want to know how to make dinner, and so we have classes for all ages. One of the classes that's my favorite is teaching the kids how to actually make a chicken dinner from start to finish. Yeah.
So it's not just baking. So you do like a full cooking class.
People need to know how to feed their families and their friends, right? So let's make everything we can.
It's so, you know, and I've talked about this with artists on the show to see, you see like, the arts leaving schools and the fact that, the culinary arts have left. And I'm talking about, elementary school, high school. It's a real shame, isn't it?
Yeah, it's skills in the kitchen, it's confidence in the kitchen, it's teaching them that skip the dishes, isn't just the only place to get food.
Yeah.
You have to be able to learn how to feed yourself economically now, of course.
Agreed.
And for more than just one meal. So you want to be able to feed your family and more than.
And you do some wholesale as well?
We do, yeah. So we manufacture, again, our product line for wholesale as well as retail. So you can buy one package or cases, if you like.
So other local businesses that you collaborate with.
We do, like Savvy Company. They're very prolific in ordering crostini from us. They do a lot of gift baskets for their wine, and so they're incorporating our products there.
And you do catering as well?
Yeah, a small amount of catering, corporate catering. We're in the Canada North area, so that helps us too, and it's been good.
Out in the tech area, right?
Exactly.
Doing lunches and treats and everything. Remind everybody again where they can find you, both online and at the store.
Yes, so moderngeneral.ca. We're on Instagram, Facebook with the same handle, and then you can see us in person, 1029 Tarrant Road in Canada.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Real pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
That's lovely.
Thank you so much. Don't go away. Coming up, we're going to be talking about something called Kangoo Jumps. This could be my final segment on the show. We'll see how this goes. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Heartbeat of Mother Earth, I feel you and embrace your warmth. I see you dancing through the trees. Your song floats on the summer breeze. Community, we come together. We are the voice of our ancestors. Thankful for how much you bless us. Feel the thunder in the drum. All our voices sing as one. Feel the power, feel the pride. Feel the drum beat deep inside. Feel the boom, feel the bass. Let's let go of time and space. It'll make you dance, it'll make you sing. Ode Wegun, Wedok Wishin. The drum will lead you, take you far. Always remember who you are.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. I was kidding, by the way. Nothing's going to happen. Everything is perfectly safe here in studio. Really excited to introduce you to my next guest because her studio offers such a variety of fun activities for you to help, get in shape and, make sure that not only physically, that mentally you're feeling good about yourself. Allison Liszczyk, she is the owner of Reps with Allison Fitness Studio, joins me. How are you?
Hi, I'm wonderful, thank you. How are you?
I am great. I guess we should really talk about, before we get to the variety, because this is kind of going to end up being the elephant in the room in just a moment. What are you wearing on your feet here, Allison?
I am wearing Kangoo Jumps rebound shoes or Kangoo Jumps rebound boots.
And what are what are they meant for? What's the benefit of these?
They were initially made for rehab, sports injury.
Really?
Yeah, believe it or not. So they're ultra safe. However, they are mainstream use for physical fitness. So workout classes, rebound fitness.
Okay, we're gonna put these on me. Is that right?
Okay, yes.
Okay, we can continue the conversation. I'm gonna try these on.
Perfect.
I've never tried these before, friends. If you're wondering. Okay. It looks kind of like a ski.
Wrong foot.
Oh, yeah, that would be dangerous. Yeah.
Jeez, I caught that. There we are. Excellent. So, have you ever worn ski boots?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
they're similar.
Okay. Yeah, I can see the style is very similar.
Oh, we don't want to.
Okay.
There you go. And
all right. I'm not nervous. Don't worry, Allison.
No,
I'm not nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Just like a ski boot, they can be tough to get on.
Absolutely. Oh, there we are.
All right.
There you go.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. That's not bad.
So what you're gonna do, feet about hip width, yes, and bounce, 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 bounce.
Well, this is super fun.
It is super fun.
I'm just leaving. I'm gonna head out of the studio. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No. Well,
Yes.
I'm coming back.
So now it does take a bit to get the hang of it. We offer a lot of the choreography. It's a choreographer class.
Okay. I'm not trying that just yet.
Okay.
Okay, but I said off the top, you offer like a huge variety. Let's talk about what the studio offers. Tell everybody at home.
So we offer everything from Zumba, Moms and Babes Fitness. We offer pound rocket workout, Kangoo Jumps.
Yeah.
Obviously. We offer group weight training. We do a variety of yoga. We do drums alive. Goodness, a little bit of everything.
Pole dance?
Pole dance. I forgot pole dance.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
No, but I saw that on your website.
Yes, we do pole dance, correct.
I want to talk about your personal story because when you sent me your info, you said you have a story of sort of zero to hero.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
Zero to hero. I created my corporation. I basically followed my passion of fitness. I decided to get healthy. I wanted to do a fitness show, and just having that enthusiasm and passion actually led to me opening up a business and just thriving from it.
And you've got the energy, I think, for it, Allison.
Energy, right? so yeah, zero to hero. I had 5 part-time jobs.
Really?
And then I was a single mother, raising my daughter.
And were you, you said you wanted to get in shape. Were you feeling not in shape at the time?
It was a 40-year-old bucket list goal. I wanted to hit up a fitness stage. I'm going to be 50 in 9 months. Yes. So every decade kind of had this bucket list goal idea. Yeah.
I like it. Do you know what the 50 one's going to be? It's a little too early, maybe?
No, but it is this year. I've got to think of it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What's the response been? Because you are the Canadian distributor, right, of these Kangoo Jumps. What's the response been?
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
These boots have been in the market for 15 years. However, the previous national distributor, she took them off them. She left the company.
Okay.
So I brought them back to Canada.
Nice.
Kind of having that passion. I've worked with these for 6 years in Embrun, Ontario, and our classes have been sold out. And I'm like, why? Why is it not in Ottawa?
Yeah.
It once was years ago, and it's not. So I'm bringing it to Ottawa.
You're bringing it back. Now, if you're wondering, by the way, why, not only because Allison has tons of energy, but you kind of have to keep moving in a way on these, right?
I was wondering how you're doing.
I was trying to do the and then I realized, hey, wait a minute. Can you show us some other examples of how you would use these?
Okay. Right?
So how long would it take for somebody to get to that point where they would feel this comfortable, doing what you're doing right now?
Everyone, basically in their own time.
Right.
So it could be one class, 1 day, 1 hour. It could be 8 classes, right?
Right.
And you can finally do one choreographed song. But we work with everyone individually, always catering to everyone's. There you go.
I'm doing. What are you?
There.
The up and down.
See, try a jack.
I don't know about the jumping jacks.
Maybe not the jack today.
Let me.
Yay!
I swear, it's.
Just don't hit me in the head, but we're good.
Oh yeah,
okay.
we're good.
No, that's me. Amazing.
So, tell me a little bit more about your studio. Where you're located.
So Embrun, Ontario, just outside of Ottawa.
Know the area well.
Yeah. So we've had a commercial location for 6 years, a little over 6 years. That's when I brought the Kangoo Jumps into Embrun in the Ottawa area. Myself, my business has been running for 10 years, renting halls and all of this, doing little classes. So kind of building up to this thing.
Finally getting your own space.
My thing,
right?
Yes.
So you do you have like a full gym in there as well?
100%.
Tell me what the space looks like.
We have equipment, dumbbells, poles, yoga equipment. We do pound rocket workouts, so drumsticks. We do workshops.
Hold on. Pound rocket workout?
Pound rocket workout.
Rockout. What is that exactly?
Oh man, I can come back for that too.
Okay.
It's a rockout. Oof. Can't really do it on these. Using drumsticks. Yeah.
Okay.
Pound rocket workout. So I was the first to bring that to the Ottawa area too. Can I say that? Yes, I can. Boom. 9 years ago. So yay.
Remind everybody where they can find you, because obviously registration online is probably the best place, and to find out more information.
Absolutely. Okay. So it's REPS, R-E-P-S, with Allison. You got it. It's on the screen there.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Email me, Facebook. All of the handles were there somewhere.
You're all on the socials.
Socials.
That's what the kids call it, folks.
Yes.
The socials. Thank you so much for bringing this energy and enthusiasm. I really appreciate it. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Yay! Thanks, Anna.
Are you low on food? Struggling to pay the bills? Overwhelmed by life's challenges? When you need support but don't know where to turn, just dial 211. 211 connects you to the programs or services near you.
211, how can I help you?
211, help starts here.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
With clubs,
Leagues and courts in every province and territory across Canada, squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. It is World Radio Day, so happy World Radio Day to all of my wonderful colleagues out there at Rogers Radio and all radio stations across the country. And one particular initiative has done so much for so many. They've been doing it for a number of different years, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa, and that is Farm Radio International. I'm joined by the head of stakeholder engagement, Christian Robillard. Welcome. Great to have you here. And Kate Burnham. She is the Radio Network Service Manager. Welcome to you as well. Christian, let's talk a little bit about the history, because it's a really interesting history how this all began.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. So it started back in 1975 with our founder, George Atkins. He himself was a farm radio broadcaster, and he traveled to Zambia to do sort of a learning exchange. And there he talked to a farm radio broadcaster talking about his radio program around spark plugs for tractors. And he says, oh, well, how many of your listeners realistically have tractors? And said, oh, not that many. He's like, well, how many listeners do you have? Oh, 800,000. So
what? 800,000?
So we wondered, why not focus on some more practical things you might be able to do. And from there, he got the idea that, well, maybe radio is the way to reach people and to be able to provide people with information so they can make better decisions for themselves. So in this case, something around not tractors, but something around plows as opposed to tractors, because people just didn't have access. And now, almost 45 years later, we've reached 24.1 million listeners on a regular basis. Wow. With 60 plus million being reached through potential programs, and a huge network of radio stations who we have a pleasure to work with, and Katie does a lot of work with, and just a lot of impact and a lot of change.
Yeah, maybe expand upon that impact, Katie. What sort of impact, outside of numbers, have you seen over the years?
Yeah, we work with about 1,400 radio partners across Africa who have an impact on their listeners each and every day through the programs that they broadcast. And we just celebrated today actually a few of those excellent radio broadcasters with our awards.
Okay.
And so one of those broadcasters we celebrated was Janebu Traore from Mali, who's had a program that really delved into environmental issues and deforestation. And she talked to people who were cutting down trees, people who, women particularly, who rely on shea trees to create shea butter. It's a great economic source for women. And she also spoke to some forestry professionals, and she really sparked a dialogue in their community. And actually, village chiefs have taken action, created some new rules, guidelines to protect the forests in their community for everyone to benefit from. So it's that sort of like practical change that broadcasters can have in their communities by sparking conversations and raising people's voices on important topics.
Right. And Christian, my understanding is in the beginning, the founder was actually writing scripts and sending the scripts. How does it work now? Is it that same philosophy? I mean, obviously not mailing them anymore, but certainly using email and that sort of thing.
Yeah, of course. And Katie certainly does a lot of this with the radio network. But in terms of the actual approach, we have everything from radio projects, where we're working with communities and with local experts to come up with what those particular radio programs, dramas, approaches are ultimately going to be. We also provide a suite of digital tools that we call Uliza Interactive, which allows for not just that sort of traditional broadcasting, but that true two-way communication. And every year we log over 1 million different interactions amongst all of the different radio stations that use the platform. And then also Katie's team does a terrific job in terms of providing different training, different capacity building pieces for the different radio broadcasters in the network, all at no cost to them, so that ultimately they can become better broadcasters. They ultimately reach more people, create more interactive radio programs, and ultimately lead to people embracing better practices, whether it's around agriculture, climate change, food nutrition, roles for women and girls in society. The list really goes on.
So, Katie, Christian just mentioned no cost. So where does funding come from then?
From our generous donors.
It is.
Funders,
it's not that you're not
supporters.
government funded in any.
We do have some projects in collaboration with the Government of Canada doing great work on nature-based climate solutions, gender equality, from a variety of funders, but also very generous Canadian donors that Christian knows very well that have continued to support our work over 40 years.
You have a new podcast as well, Christian, that we wanted to touch on. Tell me about that podcast.
Yeah, so Katie's point around the nature-based solutions project we've been doing, funded by Global Affairs, and actually in partnership with Carleton University, we actually had a number of students go to both Ghana and Uganda to listen to different stories that were coming out of radio documentaries that we were producing for the project, and that local broadcasters and some of our on-location staff were saying these are powerful. And the whole premise of the show is about how communities are working with nature and really embracing nature to adapt to the effects of climate change. So the first episode that's out actually takes place in Ghana, in Piang and Mem, talking about teak trees and how teak trees, they provide a lot of shade, they help to attract water because they naturally absorb carbon dioxide and ultimately lead to more rain in some instances. But it's not so much about the nature-based solution itself, so the teak trees, but it's about the community's relationship with that piece of nature and how they're using it to mitigate and adapt to the effects of climate change, and really showing a lot of resilience in the face of climate change.
Is that the greatest challenge right now, climate change? When you talk to these farmers, is that their greatest concern at the moment?
Oh yes, absolutely. Adapting to climate change, making sure they can continue to produce enough food for their families, their communities, going forward, despite droughts or weather pattern changes, floods. I think that is the biggest challenge.
Kristen, is this more working with villages in sub-Saharan Africa? Is that where
it's a number of different communities there,
but it's mostly rural, right?
Yeah, mainly those who are rural, but we have some stations that are based out of major cities like Accra in Ghana and broadcasting there. But typically, in some cases they're agriculture themed programs, but in some they're regular radio programs that have some kind of agricultural component, because usually across the continent, agriculture plays some part of life, but it's not just agriculture. It's about, to Katie's point, mitigating the effects of climate change, talking about the role and challenging the role for women and girls in society, talking about food and nutrition, health. The list really goes on, and both rural and urban, but predominantly we work with rural groups.
Excellent. Well, really appreciate you coming on the show, in particular on World Radio Day. Just shows that incredible impact with something that started so small is just spiraled into something so special. Thank you both. Really appreciate it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more right after this.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Treaty in Cree is Naskumetoin, an oral agreement. And our agreements were always spoken. For George Spence, the core of treaty was Wichihioin, to help one another.
And so we, the commissioners...
He was there for the making of Treaty 9, where the Cree were told...
We will honor this agreement together, for as long as the sun shines and the waters flow.
The Cree made their mark because they were assured that the land would be shared, and they would always be able to harvest what they needed. George Spence was my great-grandfather. In his life, he saw many promises of the treaty go unfulfilled.
Treaties were essential to the creation of Canada. First Nations still fight for the agreements to be honored.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
I'm Sam LaPrade. I hope you watch An Hour to Give, because this week we're featuring the Ottawa Hospital Foundation. We're talking about the world-class care and the world-class talent that is right here in our hometown.
Welcome back to the show. It's time for a little decor therapy. You'll recognize my next guest. We feature her each and every month on the show, and today we are talking about creating your own wall gallery. Sue Pitchforth is the owner and lead designer at Decor Therapy Plus. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
I was just telling you, we did a gallery wall ourselves at our cottage, and it's something I've seen here and there over the years, but it's something that I always thought was going to be a great challenge. But thanks to people like you who walk us through it, you show us how easy it can be, and you can be a little bit eclectic and have some fun with it. Tell me a little bit about, what's the starting point when you're thinking about doing that gallery wall?
Well, first you have to figure out where you want to have it.
Right.
That's the first thing.
So what goes into that? How do you choose that right space?
So for me, I just moved into my new house, and as you walk upstairs, there's this triangular cool wall.
Okay.
So I knew that's where one of the gallery walls was going to be. But most people, when you talk about gallery walls, they're very intimidated.
Yeah.
How do I know where to put it? How many pictures? What kind of frames? So if you want to start small, that's probably a great thing.
Okay.
You can have a gallery wall over a dresser, over a table. It doesn't have to be a whole huge wall.
That's what always was on my mind. I need to have this grand space to do a gallery wall. So that's not necessary at all. I guess the next step is gathering those photos, and maybe not even just photos. Can there be different pieces? Can you mix in?
Absolutely. So in the past, gallery walls were just photos, but now you can incorporate signs and plates and different things. In one of my gallery walls, I've incorporated driftwood.
Okay.
So it's really, bringing out your personality in that gallery wall. And one of the best tips I have is if you're looking at doing family photos, I photocopy them. So they're all black and white.
Okay.
Because if you envision, 10 or 15 photos on a wall in different frames, each photo has different colors, so they're all competing.
Right.
But if you photocopy and you have all the same color photo, you get to see them. And then if you have all the same color frame, doesn't have to be the same frame.
Right.
So that's where spray paint comes in.
Yeah.
Then you can actually see and enjoy the gallery wall.
You sent some photos in. I'm going to ask Stephanie and our crew there to bring up some of the photos. So this is kind of your starting point, is what you say, is grab the pieces. Don't put them on the wall yet.
No,
right?
No.
What's important to do? Like you're basically putting these how you might want to see them on the wall?
So basically you can do them on the floor or on a bed. And here's a great example, Derek, you mentioned, does it have to be all photos? No, this is a great example of pieces of nature and things that she really liked and she wanted to see. And basically you take everything and you lay it on the ground. It's like pieces of a puzzle.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you move them around.
We'll ask for the next photo, because the next photo is probably what most people have in mind, I think, when they're thinking gallery wall. And that's, as you said, this is on a bed, and these, and again, right, all different sizes of frames too. You don't have to necessarily have them all the same size,
Absolutely.
right?
And it's really interesting because most people have similar pieces of art or photos all over the house.
Right.
But when you bring them together, it could look like this, and it tells a beautiful story.
Let's talk about this, what we're seeing here, because this is a process you say is very important to do.
Oh, absolutely. So instead of, putting everything on the wall and not liking it, make your arrangement on the floor or the bed, and then take brown paper and cut to the size, and then tape that on the wall.
Right.
So that was the exercise that we did here. There's a great before and after as well.
Right, yeah.
It really helps you visualize what it's going to look like without putting more holes in walls, because that really stresses people
exactly.
out.
You don't want to be
Especially if you
patching, right?
Especially if you painted recently. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk spacing. So how do you figure out the spacing between each?
Well, it really just depends on the entire wall space that you have.
Okay.
Sometimes I make them closer, farther away, but when you lay them out on the floor and you step back, you can get a really good sense of how it's going to look.
So you don't put like, okay, each one is going to be 3 inches from the other?
No.
Really?
And I do have clients that walk around with tape measure, and they want to do that.
I told you, I sweated it out at the cottage because we were like, oh, if we're going to do this, they have to be exactly the same space between.
This is that one, that first one that we saw, and she had a bird cage that we put together, and it really makes a great vignette. So in a strange way, the bird cage becomes part of the wall space. And then here's the finished version of all those paper on the walls. And basically all these pieces of art, they found them while they were traveling.
Okay.
So they're not all similar. The colors are very similar, but the most important thing, it tells a story.
I was just going to say that,
and it makes them feel happy. I'm sure, like your gallery wall in your cottage, when you see it, you love it.
I honestly walk in each and every time, and it still gives me joy. And I think that's important when you're, I mean, in your field, right? That's probably something that stands out, because I think we all try to find perfection in some way. That's not necessarily about joy, right? Oh, it's got to look this way in particular, and we forget about that being the most important part, right?
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
When you're putting together a smaller gallery wall, I noticed that one with the bird cage kind of tucked in a bit of a corner. Is that something that you have to be careful where you put it and what other pieces might be around?
Yeah, so the reason, and I'm sorry I didn't have the picture to show you that full wall, the reason we moved that gallery wall over to the left of the couch to the corner was because there was a big window over the couch.
Okay.
So she wanted to have something on that wall. But the window was really taking up the majority of the wall. So we just sort of moved it over, and we made a small vignette.
It looks so good, and having that little, as you said, all of a sudden that bird cage becomes a part of that sort of gallery art space.
Honestly,
nice.
And it makes me so happy.
How's business going, by the way?
Oh,
in Smith Falls, things are going well?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, the store is doing really well, and the community, they have embraced us. It's been wonderful.
Excellent. Sue, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. By the way, that beautiful store, Curated Finds Inspired for You, that's located at 13 William Street East in Smith Falls, and you can find Sue on social media and at decortherapyplus.com. We'll be back with more.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly. Always have a plan for a safe ride home for yourself, your family, and your friends. You'll be helping to shut out impaired driving.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
On Rogers TV.
I did it. I need it.
The hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. I can tell you from personal experience, the benefits of volunteering run so far and wide. Not only do you make a difference in somebody else's life or an organization's life, it makes a big difference in your own life. And Volunteer Ottawa does such a great job helping you find that perfect fit. Here to tell us more about it, Christine Trusmandorf is the Executive Director at Volunteer Ottawa. Welcome back, Christine.
Great to have you here.
And you know what? On a serious note, this is a really difficult time for those charities and nonprofits. They've all gone through some difficult times, as all of us have, but just tell us about, sort of the struggles that we're seeing recently.
It's a little bit of a perfect storm, to be honest. There's a huge increase in the demand for the services and programs that charities offer. We've seen about twice as many people Canadians relying on charities as there were a year ago.
Right.
And at the same time, donations are down, so the ability to offer those programs and services is compromised. There's been a decrease in, some people have to cut off some of their programs. So the importance of volunteers and the role that they play is just more important than ever.
Yeah, and I guess we're seeing it, we talk about, housing crisis and inflation and the cost of living, all these things going up affect nonprofits, charities, the individuals that are donating. I guess these are the reasons?
These are the things. I read a brand new statistics from Imagine Canada today that almost 30% of young people under 30, are accessing the services that charities are providing right now. It's just a stunning figure.
And I mentioned the benefits. As I said, there's benefits to individuals. You're helping organizations. What about the benefits to the volunteer?
Well, you can tell people about what those benefits are like. You do so much yourself, and thank you for that.
My pleasure.
But I think everybody has something to get out of it. There's always, we talk about giving back, but in so many ways, it's about what you receive. And that differs according to what your needs are. Sometimes it's just getting out, connecting with your community. So much going on in the world right now. Sometimes it's nice to just go out and do something and feel as though you've made a bit of a difference. But for young people, it's a great way to explore a career opportunity, to meet some new people. If you're new to Canada or new to Ottawa, what a great way to establish a new network, maybe explore some job opportunities, get to know some possible employers, practice some new skills. And for older people, if you kind of miss that workday routine, but you don't want to work full time, signing up for a couple of volunteer shifts a week gives you a chance to kind of put some structure and schedule back in your life.
And you're seeing it right here in our studio, right?
It's a fabulous crew you've got.
A bunch of volunteers, and we have co-op students as well from high. They're a great shot there. They've got of some of our crew here, and they do it because they have not only a passion for giving back to the community, but they're learning new skills, and it's social.
And they're having some fun. I've seen some fun happening here.
There's lots of fun, that's for sure. And Volunteer Ottawa, you really make it easy as well. You have to explain to everybody how you can find that perfect position for somebody that's looking to volunteer.
We have a website. We have about 16,000 volunteers who are registered on our website, and they can come in and apply for, there's hundreds, literally thousands of volunteer positions available right now. So you sign up on the website and you come and you cruise through those opportunities and see something that you like. And we have a lot of filtering and sorting tools so that you can pick, I'm available on Wednesday evenings, or I have some time this weekend, I just want a one-off event. I'm going to sign up to do something specific. There's options for everybody.
You have a breakfast coming up?
We do.
Tell me about the breakfast and what makes this one special.
This is a community breakfast, a mid-February excuse to get together.
Nice.
Talk about volunteering. If you're currently a volunteer, you can come out and celebrate that with other people who are doing the volunteering. If you're curious about volunteering, you can come and hear about what we have to offer, how to get involved, how to use our services and tools. Have a nice breakfast, win some prizes. The mayor and some city councillors are going to be there. We're really looking forward to it.
What about the VO Connect program? Tell me about that program.
That's a program that is designed for employers who want to really demonstrate their their values to their employees and to the community, to get themselves engaged in the community. And there's a number of different things they can do, but it often starts with just telling staff that we value volunteering, we want you to volunteer. Maybe we'll give you a couple of days a year that you can use for volunteering. But we could also use that as kind of, team building events where you can identify a day or a half a day, and we'll help people organize that event for them.
Yeah, and I know selfishly I'll say I'm really proud of Rogers because they do offer those volunteer days and as you said, it's a great team building exercise, getting people out of their comfort zone a little bit, helping out, and there's so many different ways you can help out, right? I remember one year we were painting, another year we were packing knapsacks, right? There's tons of different things going on.
There's we do a big event for Export Development Canada every year. Last year we had 600 people doing 42 different activities over the course of the day, and it's going to be even bigger this year.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
The Voskers are coming back, right? Tell us about the Voskers and how people can nominate somebody.
They're the annual awards gala. The event itself takes place in October, but the starting gun goes off in April during National Volunteer Week, and that's when nominations will open for categories, awards in 8 different categories.
Okay.
Anybody can nominate. You can nominate a friend, a neighbor, someone in your community, and we'll have a selection process. We'll select 3 finalists in each category, and then in October the winner will be announced at our awards gala on the 24th of October.
Nice. For the breakfast, it's a minimum. You're looking at pay what you can.
It's a pay what you can. A minimum of $5. We don't want to make it inaccessible for anyone. We would love a contribution of $20 per person, and if you can afford more, that's even better.
Wonderful. Christine, thanks so much.
Thank
Always
you,
a pleasure
Derek.
having you. Reminder, volunteerottawa.ca to get your tickets. Tickets on sale, by the way, until February 16th, so keep that in mind. You only have 3 days left to get those tickets, and it will most likely sell out, so make sure you get your tickets right away. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Welcome back. All right, let's wrap up the show here, reminding you of some of the topics we talked about on the show today. As usual, big thanks to everybody for joining us today. Thanks to you, of course, for watching. If you want to find out more about Modern General Food Group, Laura, that was here with her beautiful pastries and tarts and so forth. She does artisan breads as well. She's got those wonderful cooking classes, moderngeneral.ca, and she's located at 1029 Tarrant Road. Also, Allison, holy jumping, there's somebody with a lot of energy. Thank you so much, Allison. She's the owner of Reps with Allison Fitness Studio. They've got boot camps and pole dance and weight training and kangaroo jump programs and yoga and you name it. They've got it. Mom and Babes program. repswithallison.com to find out more information on that and to get in touch with her. She's located there in Embrun. And a big thanks to Sue Pitchforth as well. Creating that gallery wall, she said, can be really intimidating, but nice to have somebody walk us through that process. And really encourage, if you want to take a bit of a day trip coming up on a weekend, go visit Sue's beautiful new store. It is called Curated Finds Inspired for You, located in Smith Falls at 13 William Street East. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Daytime, and we'll see you next time.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Unscripted, uninterrupted coverage of events by Canada's business leaders, visionaries, and social figures. Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
Ottawa, it's the national capital of Canada. But how much do you know